What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage, and this week, this is Kool-Aid bringing to you my SAO deck profile based off of Zek and Yuki and Last Shot, but instead of splashing in yellow like most people tend to do, also shoutouts to Strictly Broken for already posting a splash yellow version, I wanted to splash in red and see how that worked out. I've run both versions, the yellow and the red version, and both are very fun. Both are very powerful. I will completely and totally admit that the Asuna Splash Yellow version setup is really good. So I just wanted to post the Splash Red because the Splash Yellow has already been posted online, so yeah, why the fuck not? But yeah, SAO, blue, green, red. Let's see how this goes. So, first off, starting with the level zeros, we got the promo version of Asuna's Married Life, quote unquote. It's a mirror copy of it, so I was like, okay, might as well put it in since I've taken out the yellow anyway. I took all the yellow out except for the backup Asuna because free backups are free, you know. Why the hell not run it at that point? But like I said, mirror copy because 500 assist in front, and when you play a Climax, you can give one of your characters 1,000 power. So it's word for word Asuna's Married Life, just different color. I think even same stats. I could be wrong. So, but yeah, next, go ahead and more of the red added into it. The one thing that SAO is not really able to do that much before re-edit came out was a whole bunch of waiting room manipulation, unless you ran the Wiz engine from the second SAO EB. But for the most part, people were just going green and blue with Zek and Yuki to do all the compression that it does, and then just, you know, last shot for finisher. I have seen people run the Wiz engine, but for the most part, I figured, you know, just a brainstormer should be fine. I'm not really running the Wiz engine in here. I felt that was a bit too much. But it's a good engine, don't get me wrong. But this Silica Brainstormer, pay 1, tap 2 characters, mill 4 for every Climax, salvage a character, salvage an avatar net. So this Sleeping Knights Brainstorm, honestly the better Brainstormer of the deck and probably the best Brainstormer in SAO, even counting the new Kirito Brainstormer that was like, for every Climax, draw 2, pitch 1. I still consider this to be the better card. First effect is the middle center Asuna Yuki gets +1 level and +1,000 power, so a little bit of extra buff there. More prevalent in the Splash Yellow version because you got a nice little level 1 Asuna you can drop, that's whatever. Brainstorm, pay 1, tap 2 characters, mill 4 for every Climax, search for an avatar net, just really powerful. And the card that combos with it best at level 0 is the Silica Reverser. So she's a level 0 Reverser, but she has another ability that plays more into this because it helps you dig further with the Brainstorm. On play, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an avatar net character, add it to your hand and then discard 1 card. So if you do that and you see that it's a Climax, you know to immediately Brainstorm and plus off of it. If it's not, you just dig closer to a potential Climax for a Brainstorm for that. So it's as if you mill 5, quote unquote. Got 3 copies of Undefeated Super Swordsman Yuki. It is a clock bomb. Basically, if she gets reversed by a level 0 lower character, they leave in the field. They get in the fuck off the field. You heal the top card of your opponent's clock and send that character that reversed her to your opponent's clock. So she can get rid of a lot of problem cards early on. And she also has a character encore, just in case you happen to use that. Lastly is the Kirito Runner. When he swings, you can give another scene on 1,000 power. Not exactly relevant that much, but still. The Kirito Runner is a mill runner. When your opponent enters their attack phase, you can send the top card of your deck to the waiting room. If it's an avatar net character, move into an open position of your center stage. So, really good, and that rounds out the level 0s. So that's 4, 8, 10, 14, 17 level 0s. More than I usually run, but there's a lot of utility that SAO has amongst those level 0s that just are good at any point of the game. So we might as well go ahead and get to the first Climax combo of the deck, and the main one that I say makes this deck as broke as it is Zek and Yuki. Level 1, 0 cost green. Climax combo with Mother's Rosario. Her first effect on play, she gets 500 power for each of your other Avatar net characters. Or, well, each of your Avatar net characters, my bad. So she counts herself. So if you play her last with a full field, she's a 65 before anything else, just saying. On swing, if you got Mother's Rosario, you can pay 1, discard a card, and search your deck for up to 2 Avatar net characters from your deck, add them to your hand, and she gets +1 level until end of turn. So she can get around level 1 reversers really easy that way. But at the same time, the being able to hand fix, if you know you have Climaxes in your stock and you want to pay them out, really powerful. If you want to hand fix and get Climaxes out of your hand, and you just want to set up your game, you want to set up your plays for potentially every level after level 1, just being able to just compress as hard as she does is just amazing. And a very, very powerful card. And I mean, the best searcher in SAO by far, before anyone else tries to contend that. Next, 3 copies of Temporary Alliance Sinon, 500 power for each of your other Avatar net characters, and Clock Encore. Really simple. The backup Asuna is basically a free 2K backup. Just simplest way to put that. 2 copies of it. And to round out the level 1s, 4 copies of Determination with Life on the Line Kirito. This is also new from the re-edit. And it has 2 effects. The first is also a top check. When you play it, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an Avatar net, he gets plus 2,000 power till end of turn. So still gets just as beefy as either Zekken or Sinon. So really, really big. And that's if you get it off. But if nothing else, that's another thing you can do with like the Sleeping Knights. If you do that and you see it's a Climax, go ahead and pay out that stock and brainstorm. Just saying. The other thing is that when he is sent from the stage to the waiting room, you can reveal up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 Avatar net character amongst them to your hand. The rest of them go to waiting room, and then you discard 1 card. So more hand filtering, more milling through the deck that SAO really only had in the form of brainstormers before. So if you know for a fact you want to just go ahead and, if you know like you're down to the last couple cards in your deck, you don't want Climaxes clunking up your stock, go ahead and drop this. It's fine. Ain't no problem. So that is 8, 10, 13 level 1s, and getting to the level 2s, which is a lot smaller. I'm just going to lay them all down. This is just that much easier. The Leafa Counter, Tiffany, Machine of Ice, and the new Sinon. 2,500 backup on play. When you use the backup, top check. If it's an Avatar net, add it to your hand, then discard 1 card. Helps you dig closer to potential cancels. Really good. SAO got an anti-change. Also, 2,500 backup. And when you use the backup, you can get rid of your opponent's early play level 3s. Simple as that. The cost for that is you pay 2 and then discard an Avatar net character. Machine of Ice, Sinon, probably the second biggest MVP of the deck, right behind Zekken Yuki. Just so powerful. 1,000 assist in front, tap, and you can tap her to give a character your opponent controls the ability that during that character's battle, your opponent cannot play events or backups from hand. So, lets you guarantee some reverses, lets you stop your opponent from doing Compass, Darkness Plan, shit like that. Just say nope. Really powerful. Kite Sith, that's not the Kite Sith one, that's a different one. But she is in her Kite Sith form, just whatever. The new Sinon from the re-edit pack, on play you can pay 1, pitch 1, or pitch a Climax, I'm sorry, confusing my effects here. You pay 1 and discard a Climax to grab another Climax back from your waiting room to your hand, which helps you set up for the Phantom Bullet Climax combo, because more than likely with the gold bar, because the gold bar when you trigger it has to go to your hand. If you have extra copies of this in hand, you can pitch that for the effect to grab back Phantom Bullet, and your level 3 game is set up. So also she punishes early plays as well, so Tiffany and Sinon don't like no early plays. When she attacks a level 3 character, she can get 1,000 power for each of your Avatar net characters. So if you got a full field, that's fucking 5,000, guys. She's the 12-5 before anything else. If she pokes a level 3, she killing stuff. So that's it for the level 2s. To start off with the level 3s is the new Liz. The new Liz is fabulous, I'm just saying. She is an early play. If you have 2 or less Climaxes in your waiting room, she can come out at level 2. And that's just like the getting the Holy Sword Excalibur, Kirito. She gets 500 power for each of your other avatar net characters, and on play, you can discard a card to send the top card of your clock into your stock, which gets around the heal tax cards like a Biki and whatnot, and also makes it so you essentially only paid one stock, quote unquote, for her to play her, or regardless of if you're level 2 or level 3 or whatever. So really cool. The Clock Shoot Leafa, 2 copies of it. You got. This is another really good utility card, and then finisher on top of that. One, she gets 500 power for each of your other avatar net characters. When you play her, you can look at up to X cards from the top of your deck. X is equal to the number of avatar net characters that you have, so she counts herself. Drop her with a full field, you can look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 character amongst them to your hand, or 1 card amongst them your opponent doesn't get to see, sorry. So, her effect is another way to dig for the Phantom Bullet if you don't already have it. And add that card to your hand, the rest go to your waiting room. The last effect is a Clock Shoot ability. When her battle opponent becomes reversed, you can discard 2 avatar net characters to send that reverse character to your opponent's clock. Now, the cool thing of that is also, one, that's finisher's always good. I don't think SAO had a lot of Clock Shoot. I could be wrong before this. But the cool thing is if they ram, you can still use that ability. If they try to ram into you and don't read the card, you could use the effect when they reverse and you don't die, and you reverse them and send their character to the clock, potentially win off that. I've yet to do that, but when I do, y'all will know. Lastly, obligatory 4 copies of Last Shot Sinon, because you gotta have the fabulousness that is Last Shot Sinon. Climax combo with Phantom Bullet, obviously. She's a heal. She heals 1 on play. If she becomes reversed, you have to send her to your memory. A lot of people don't realize that. And the Climax combo with Phantom Bullet, when she swings, you can pay 2 stock, discard 1 card, and burn your opponent for 4. So, if that 4 sticks, you're almost leveling. You're basically doing enough damage to level them if both her and the 4 sticks. But if the 4 gets canceled, she gets plus 3,500 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, either way, she getting big, and you're potentially getting that much closer to game. So, but that's it for the level 3s, so just 8 of those. And for Climaxes, obvious, Phantom Bullet is obvious. 4 copies of the 1K1 Book Trigger, and I'm going to reverse this. 4 copies of the Mother's Rosaria. See the little... I know, I'm weird. But on trigger, you draw a card, and on trigger, this has to go to your hand, and then you may blind stock the top card of your deck to your stock. So, that's it for SAO. This was the Splash Red version, which I really have enjoyed just as much as the Splash Yellow version. And I couldn't recommend one over the other to somebody. Like, obviously, SAO has gotten a hell of a lot cheaper since the re-edit stuff dropped, so... By all means, anyone who wants to get into this game, pick up SAO, because get it while the getting's good, and it is cheap as fuck right now. So, yeah, thank y'all very much for watching. I am working on a Switch combo deck. I need like 2 more cards for it, so I'm going to be working on that, and going to be trying to get that posted up pretty soon as well. But thank y'all for watching. It's very much appreciated. Subscribe if you have not already, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.